Look at the Bellagio here in town in Las Vegas. Night has fallen. On day 6, Mark Jones courtside with Mr. Big Shot. Chauncey Billups, of course, and Corey Alexander. Coach, good to see you, man.
My
Do you still have a payroll number at ESPN?
Hey, man, y'all people working me good, man.
Chauncey, you know, coming into the arena here at the Pavilion today in Las Vegas, saw about 70 or 80 people with Chinese flags.
Yeah.
Chinese pictures of young Hansen, and kind of feel like we're onto something with this young man from China. What do you think of his play so far? Because it seems to have at least justified some of the hype around him.
First of all, I think he's doing a really good job. Secondly, y'all finally seeing what we saw. You know, like we took him, and everybody had a lot to say, you know, about the pick, but we didn't. All we cared about is we thought he was an incredible prospect that was going to fit in perfectly with our team. And I think he showed that he's doing a really good job with that.
Chauncey, I was at the draft when he was announced as the 16th pick, and he was at the draft, walked out of the stands, and no one knew who he was at that point. But you had spent time with him, obviously, before then. What did you see? Was it the passing that really stood out the most to you, that the fact you could possibly run offense through him, or what was it that made you get on board with saying, hey, this is our guy, this is who we need to go after?
You know, there were several things. One, his passing obviously stands out. And anytime you can have a good passer on your team, he's a good connector. Everybody loves playing with a great passer. But not only that, he was very competitive. He was physical. You know, he set good screens. You got to understand, as a big man, there's going to be a collision on every play. Either you're going to be the one going to it, or you're going to be, you know, he's the one that goes to the collision. And that's something that you can't teach. Passing and feel, that's also something that you can't really teach. So the things that you can't teach, when they can do that, it's incredible, because I know what I can teach. So I just felt good about it. I really did.
Chauncey, we had a great moment where he had a chance to display his personality. After the 3, he gave it the 3 in your mouth, Sally. He really seems to have connected with his teammates despite the possibility of maybe a little cultural differences and language barriers.
You know, and that's, just think about it. You know, he's still kind of learning and getting more comfortable with the language.
How do you guys handle that? You guys have a translator for him?
Of course,
yeah, he's got a translator sitting right behind the bench.
On the end of the bench right now. His name is Chris. He's doing a phenomenal job, but, you know, we'll have our own, you know, people we got English classes for him, and we of course we have an entire agenda for him, you know, to speed him up, but he's doing a really good job with all of those things.
That's great.
Congratulations to you, signing a 4-year extension, I believe, and to stay in Portland as the head coach. And, you know, I didn't know this was the path for you. We talked about this long ago when you were doing TV, and you made the decision to get into this coaching. Of course, everything that you've done throughout your lifetime, you've excelled at. Have you enjoyed this side of it and mentoring these young men?
Man, I love it, CA. I really do, man. I love teaching. You know, it was just so many guys along the way for me that taught me, that helped me. And coaching is just teaching, you know, and I really do. These guys are so talented. They're so good. They're so skilled. But I think it's really important, and particularly when they come into the league, it's important what they learn right away. And it's going to set the tone for the rest of your career. You know? So I love it. I love coaching. I love teaching. And to your point, early on, I didn't know that this was going to be the route for me either. But I just felt called to do it, man, and I just love it.
You've experienced seismic change since you first lined up on the sidelines. I mean, Dame Lillard was part of the team when you first came aboard, and things have really turned over in a somewhat significant way. One of the guys out here that you drafted, Caleb Love, comes in as an older rookie. How does that benefit him? What have you seen out of that so far?
Well, you can see how comfortable he looks out there. You know, he's got a lot of experience. He's played in a lot of incredibly big games in college. Those things really matter. You know, I'm one that I believe in, you know, rookies that come in a little bit older. I mean, you look at what Toumani Camara has done for us. Came in a little older, is already one of the best defenders in the entire world. So I love it.
Caleb knew your nickname too, Mr. Big Shot.
As he should.
He didn't have to YouTube it or Google it.
As he should. He's old enough to know that.
I know, but you never know with these young cats, man.
The 19-year-olds, they don't really know it. To your point, Caleb, you know, at his age, he knows it.
All right, Jonesy, let me say this. And I've known Caleb Love since he was probably 14 years old. The person that I would have told you then, and really for the last 10 years that he reminds me of, is this guy beside me.
Oh, okay.
And both of them are the coolest dudes in the room, no matter what happens. Whatever profession it is, they're going to be the coolest guy in the room. But Caleb has a very similar personality to Chauncey. They're not rah-rah guys, but lead by example, and both players that other guys want to follow. Even though I was the older guy.
You was the semi-older, but I thought you was the coolest dude on our team. Well, now you're giving me.
We used to have that battle all the time.
Yes, we did.
One of the big transactions you guys made was being able to get Jrue Holiday coming in. What does Jrue bring outside of the obvious? We're going to keep you. Can we keep you for one more second?
I'll be right here, man.
Right.
He ain't got nothing else to do, Jones, but hang out with us.
He's trying to get the gold watch from ESPN like always. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Las Vegas and the Pavilion. There's a look at the depth chart for the Trailblazers. Jrue Holiday acquired in that deal with the Celtics. Anthony Simons going the other way. Let's start with Jrue. That's where we ended things off. What one variable does he bring that you guys figure to benefit from the most?
Experience. You know, that's the one thing a young team doesn't have is experience. And it's tough to get that unless you bring it in like that. And obviously, this is a guy who's won championships. He's, in my opinion, going to be a Hall of Famer. What he can give Scoot Henderson, Shaden, Tumani, Denny, all of our young, talented guys, even our centers, what he can give them are things that I can't give them. I can try as good as I can, but you need a guy actually in a jersey that can do that, you know. So I'm super excited about Jrue, and he's not like an old player. He can still go out there and dominate and do what he has to do, which I love.
Now, of course, I've been able to do this through text, but also got to congratulate my young fella inducted into the Hall of Fame. So again, you know, and Jonesy, this is the thing, and I don't think really many people know this. He had a struggle for his first couple of years at the NBA, and it wasn't necessarily play as much as it was injuries. The shoulder, multiple shoulder injuries that took him off the floor. We ended up trading you out of Denver to Orlando. You couldn't even play at the time. You bet on yourself going to Minnesota, and coming off the bench, became that sixth man. But then, of course, it was the Pistons that really went out there and saw what he could be moving forward. When you look back at that journey, how much of that helps you share with these young people, somebody special like Scoot, who hasn't hit that all-star level in his first 2 years yet?
Well, you know, the biggest thing, CA, is I think that's one of the gifts that I have is I actually can relate to every single guy on that team. The guy at the end of the bench not playing, the six-man guy, the star of the team, the role player. Like, I've been every single one of those guys, and you know, I never actually talk to my team. I never do the, like, when I was playing or this is what I did. I never do that. But when our guys go through certain things, I can tell them how I feel. I know how it feels, you know. So that relatability has been the key for me, you know, being able to meet them right where they're at all times.
Shaden Sharp really had a strong season overall. We need to look at the big picture, especially the second half. What's the next step for him?
Just consistency. You know, he had struggled with some injuries, but you talk about uber talent. Right. Shaden is he's as talented as anybody. You know, he's starting to really guard the ball now and defend and use both sides of the ball. And if he can reach his potential, I mean, it's going to be scary.
Gifted athlete, yeah. That's the kind of defense you want to see from them, right?
They're scrapping.
I believe it was 2 years ago your team won the Summer League championship. Was that? That
was a couple years ago.
It was a couple years ago you guys won it. And we talked about how would that defense translate moving forward. And, of course, that's where it starts with every organization. It starts on the defensive end first. With the trend now where everyone is picking up 94 feet, is that something we'll see more so from the Trailblazers? And again, to me, that trend really started in the 2021 finals when Jrue Holiday started picking up Chris Paul 94 feet. And that changed the series after Phoenix was up 2-0 in that series. Is that something we see from you guys moving forward?
Well, most of the world, and even you, now that I hear this question, y'all didn't really see us play last year. But that's what we do. We pick up full court every single time. Toumani Camara is maybe one of the best in the league at picking a guy up full. I mean, end to end. That's what we do already. And to y'all's point, like when you have a young team and you're trying to build and you're trying to, get your culture together and your identity together, like you start there on the defensive end. And all of our guys know that's where we hang our hat. Offensively, we'll just get better. Offense is fun. Everybody can play offense. That's the easy thing to do. So we're going to hang our hat on the defensive side of the ball, and offensively, we just play fast and share the ball.
How would you characterize Donovan Clingan's biggest improvement from Game 1 to Game 82?
Oh, man, it's been incredible. I think the education that he was able to get, playing so many games this year, understanding how to play against a shooting 5 or an athletic 5, or, he's seen it all now. He really is. He really has. He's seen it all. So the jump that he's making this summer, I'm really excited about, too.
Do we see some too big action with Hansen and Donovan, perhaps?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to see these guys play together and play a little bit more. But it would be so new.
Hey, I got to ask you, with young Hansen playing as well as he has, do you have your passport ready for a trip to China?
I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Going over, right?
I'll be ready, baby. I played over there a couple times in the preseason.
It ain't his first time going over there. They're going to love the big fella when you do take him back over and get an opportunity to play in front of his home country, especially if he's knocking down threes like this.
Hey, Corey, guess who the most scrutinized NBA coach in China will be?
Oh, no question about it. I tell you what, though, if they know like I know, he will have his fan base there as well. One of the best people that I've ever been to be associated with in this game.
Amen.
I've referred to him as a little brother. He's not that much younger, but you're still a little brother, but part of the greatest 5 alive.
We still got a little salt and pepper on us right now, big dog.
With a lot of fire in the furnace still. A lot of fire left. Chauncey, thanks a lot for joining us.
I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
We'll be back in just a moment.
Love, baby.